thank you for tuning in. This video starts a brand new series on my channel. We will take races from the live stream, which I cut down, and I'll voice over them to give you like all the important information, what happens in my head, and just generally we will reflect, a bit about the races and see where we can learn something, together. So for the first race we look at right now is Bahrain Outer in the Lamborghini, where we did the LMGT3 Fixed series. Didn't went that well, but there's a lot of info, to take from, and also the racing action was crazy. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the quali lap and see where we end up. So we jump right into the quali session. Bahrain Outer is a track where you struggle a lot with getting tire temps into the track because of the nature of the track, right? You have like only 3-4 proper corners and the rest is just pure straights, right? So it's fundamental to get at least some heat into the tires. And because of this long warming up process, you just get quicker and quicker with each lap what you do. This is why we have so much fuel actually in the tank. As you see in the bottom right, like I think we took fuel for 10 laps or so, which is like not really normal. And in hindsight, if I'm honest, I would say we should have gone with like 3-4 laps less fuel, because at the end we just wear the tires more down than necessary. But now we essentially go on to our fastest lap. We are right now P5 and let's see what we can get. So first of all, we aim for the timing strap here on the left, brake really hard, try to trail back till the apex, and it's important to go early on the power and rotate the car on the throttle around, because if you just wait and underdrive the car on the exit with the throttle pedal, you will just lose too much time. It's really crucial. Now for the next corner we brake again just after the timing strap, just before 100 meters, and it's important to get the car into the banking, and you see we were like half a meter maybe off the apex, where we could have gone a bit more aggressive. Here it's important to stay tight and just live with the bump, control the car with the throttle, don't drop too much speed, cut as much as possible here in the chicane. Be careful with the track limits, because we already struggled quite a lot in the previous laps here with track limits, as you need to cut so much to be quick, but 1% too much aggressiveness basically invalidates your lap. And then you see we essentially just stopped the lap and we tried to go again, because as you saw we didn't maximize the speed through the chicane. So now onto our really final quali lap, I think. Again, we aim for the tarmac stripe, brake there as hard as we can, and try to basically stay as long straight. Half times in the lap approximately. Okay. Now you saw essentially P7 in quali. It's okay, nothing bad, nothing great. We had like 1.5 temps in the quali lap, and yeah, I would say P4 or so would be the maximum. I think the Lambo was just bouncing too much in the quali lap, or in general on this track with a fixed setup. We were also like only half a temp, if at all, even less, behind Dario, which was the quickest Lambo quali lap time on this race or quali session. But yeah, we tried to forget the quali, it doesn't matter anymore, and essentially what we try here is like just think about what's ahead of us, right? So we forget, we reset, and we just try to prepare everything. So yeah, 60 kph pit limiter, we were in a really good position. The gap to Luke is pretty small here, and we just focus now on the 60 speed limit and wait till it goes green, and bam, it goes green. A really good start from us compared to the Ferrari. We tried to show us a bit on the corner inside, but we went back to the middle here, and we tried to be really safe here, though we don't want to cause too much carnage. We cut a lot on the inside curb, and what I didn't know beforehand is if you cut it in the starting phase, you will maybe get a, as you see here, next invalid car overtake, and that's why we had to lift here and let Dennis through. The yellow Lambo on the left side. We tried to cover the inside so the other cars doesn't really try a move here, but at the end some Lexus broke on the outside later and was able to essentially position himself to the left side. And the problem now is, as you see, he has the inside for the side left, so we try to hang around the left side, but now the problem corner from the Lambo comes here, the curb, and the car just bounces, as you see, and we drive into the car slightly. We can save it, but as a result we just lose again 2-3 positions, and just like that we essentially lost 7 positions in one lap. And this is what was like really not worrying me, but it was just sad to see because we had like decent pace. But here again, some Aston drive brakes too late, pushes us out, and the road on the exit is so sketchy, you have no grip, and we lose again 2 positions. As you see, a really unfortunate lap 1 for us, but this is sometimes, yeah, racing, right? We try to accept it and just try to, yeah, forget it and move forward, right? Late braking from us on the outside because we wanted to try to basically capitalize the late braking, but it didn't really basically lead to anything. We still kept our position. We are now behind the BMW. Try to stay in the slipstream, get to the left, try to go around the outside, but the problem here, the corner is cambered, right? So he has way more grip on the right side and we can't really basically make it stick. Now we need to focus rather again to behind, but we can stay ahead of the Porsche from Stechaki and yeah, try to live with the bouncing. You see the car is really just like a gymnastic ball here, essentially, which makes it hard to be consistent. And yeah, at this point, sorry for the quality of the stream. I had to download it from YouTube, and for the next one I will download it from Twitch, then you have much better quality. And yeah, brake at the 100-meter mark. We can be really late, just need to be careful to not drive into the BMW. I see our teammate Jakob Ostermann on P1 really pulling away. The BMW was in this race like unmatchable, I would say. Especially in the race, our Lambo was just nowhere for some reason. But yeah, doesn't matter. We need to fight with the weapons we have. We just focus on, you know, recovering as much as we can. Show ourselves onto the inside because we saw the BMW braking really early. And generally what I feel like is on the current version of the game, I have quite the braking performance advantage that I can brake later than most of the drivers, which is good. And yeah, we see ahead already a lot of fighting going on side by side. So, the Lambo from Michi spinning. We need to go somewhere. We choose the left side, but yeah, when he recovered his car, essentially he didn't. Of course, he was focused with recovering the car, but yeah, unfortunately for us. And then the Lexus goes for the inside. Aston in the opposite direction, and just a lot of carnage. We try to stay on the outside, just to not get again caught up in some weird crash. But yeah, this cost us again positions, as you saw. And this is what I mean. Like this race, it was a bit just not, you know, not the luck on our side. The decision making was a bit unfortunate, right? Again, contact here with the Lexus and the Lambo. Okay, we know now we have the run. We try to stay in the slipstream and the Lambo. We try to go for the inside to force him defend. We almost touch even here. We bring the car back to the left behind the Lexus, so we continue the slipstream. And now we try to go for the left side and brake really hard and use our advantage here. And we do it. The inside cars, they try to defend, but they were so late on the brakes that they even caught Michi on the, you know, and spun him. And this is, I think, the only time really we were lucky somewhat in the race. So we gained again 3 positions at least. And yeah, now we are only 7 positions, which is still a lot behind our starting grid. And yeah, we're now behind Stechaki. He was really good in the stint, I would say. Maybe he had a bit of, I think we had the issue that we just didn't find the rhythm with all the stuff going on and what happens. And this is like, I think, a clear takeaway from this race, that we need to just try to stay a bit more emotionally grounded and less invested and just be a bit more robotic in that regard, that we really stop, you know, having the past influence our driving in the present, you know. And that's what I always try to tell myself in the stream, right? Focus on what's ahead of you. Forget what happened, because you can't change it. It will just, you know, basically work against you if you think about your, you know, about what happened, you know, in the previous laps. And we try to really cut as much as we can here, because if you drive conservative over the curbs, you instantly lose time. And this cut, this is what I mean, already gives us again cutting points, right? And it's just like an inch or 2 you're over the limit, but it just penalizes you. And the race is 45 minutes long, and you have only 3 cut points available. And the problem is, like, this cut gives you instantly half a cut point, right? So you see really well that essentially you need to stay clean in this race. And because our car has this, like, the slight pace disadvantage, I'm trying to outperform the car, which means I'm pushing more than I would normally do, and this leads again to more mistakes naturally. And now really confident under the braking. As you see, we are now right behind the Porsche. We know now we need to overtake him. We are under pressure time-wise. We have only 28 minutes left, so what do we do? Do we risk it or not? But yeah, we go for the inside now. Brake really late, try to use the camber here to our own advantage, and we made it stick nice speed 13. Let's go. And yeah, in this moment I was thinking like, yeah, forget about about the overtake, good job, but still that's not where we want to finish. We want to continue to push. And here again, you see, just slightly over the limit. We look, you see always my head going to the left side, basically checking the delta, if we get a cut penalty or not. And we caught now, after some laps, the group ahead of us. So yeah, we have there 4 cars or so which are potentially able to overtake. And yeah, we try to focus and get a good run here on the Lambo. My car started to understeer a bit more and more. I think it's also because of the damage, but yeah, it doesn't matter. We are now in the slipstream. The gap to the Porsche is big. We can focus on the cars ahead. We try to brake here on the left side, and we brake really, really late. And oi, 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 what did we do there? Honestly, yeah, this is what happens if you basically just don't put into your mind, you know, that the cars maybe, or the driver can't brake as late as you, right? Although we had this gap because of the situation, you know, we essentially just maybe had to brake slightly earlier, or don't release the brake so early. Yeah, at this point, yeah, sorry to Reg, of course, also here in the video, like this was 100% on me. But yeah, in this race situation, we forget about it because it doesn't matter. You see, we lifted here. We are angry a bit. Why? I think because this was actually the situation where we lost half a second, but we might have gotten here the drive-through penalty. I don't know really anymore, but I already was here in the chicane, but it doesn't matter. We try to forget it. We just focus on the car ahead and to catch him, right? Cut a lot here, and this was the cut, I think. Yep, this was the cut which caused us the DT, as you see. We drove into the pits, and I was thinking like, man, what is going on? You see, I'm like, for some reason, every decision we do, we make the wrong one, but this is sometimes racing. We tried to drink something because it was so hot in my room. And yeah, don't drive into the wall on the left side. We already have enough damage, right? And yeah, bottle to the right side, and now focus again fully on what's ahead. We are now P23. Maybe even we drop to P25, as you see, but personally, I'm still like, I don't give up. And this is something I can tell you I learned from Rennsport is, like, the race is over when it's over, and you need to focus and drive your heart out till the end. And you see also now, P25, we caught the next 2 drivers, and some 4 spinning their away, which gave us one position, so 24. So we never quit. We drive till the end, give our best. In the slipstream again, now we brake really late again, show our braking strength, turn in, and we caught the BMW perfectly. We are now 4 times behind him. We tried to stay as quick as possible behind him, and the problem here we have essentially with our car is a bit that with the damage and the way I think we just used the tire in this race, we created a lot of understeer. You see here on the exit we struggle a lot, and there was a Ferrari actually off track which we also passed. So now 22, which is great. We move up the ladder, and yeah, we just try to focus on the next car again. Yeah, for now in this case the Porsche. Brake late again, and almost got taken out by the Ferrari here, which I see in the replay. And again, sorry at this point for the quality of the video, but from the next videos it should be better, I think. Yeah, braking again just before the 100 meter board, and we just see it. So I love it, right? When we are in this, you know, hunting position, as I want to call it, like to see the 10th drop, it's just like such a satisfying feeling, you know. Of course, it's cooler if you basically go for P1 and, you know, just essentially close the gap. But yeah, we overtook the Porsche and are already almost behind the next group. So you see the Imhoff, Kienbaum, and Vieira group essentially, and you see also on the right side Journey Simonsic coming up from the pits because he also had a DT. And I have to say at this point, I think generally speaking, the DT or the cut system on this track is pretty aggressive in the sense that even if you lift and lose half a second, it still gives you the penalty. So here again, you see, we don't want to get another cut. We do the lift. Because I was like, mate, 1 DT was enough. I don't want to get another one. We already had like a somewhat decent comeback with the weapon we have, right? With our car, with the damage and everything. I don't want to basically throw everything again into the bin. And look at the Ferrari here, right? Bit of track here, and then he tries to flick the car into the inside, but he outbrake himself, which essentially meant that we could overtake him. And another one, the Lexus from Kienbaum, also a DT, which is, it just shows you the problem on this track. It's just so hard to stay consistent off the cut, especially, you know, with our car, I would say, which has this bouncing issue. I don't know how the other cars are, but yeah. At the end, you know, you see again here the understeer. It was really hard, I have to say. Nonetheless, what I try to implement into my, you know, let's say psychologically wise, is to really not think about the negatives, right, in this race or when I'm racing. So I don't want to think about, yeah, I have damage, I have the worst car and whatever. It doesn't matter, because you can't change those things, right? You need to fight with the weapon you have. If it's not the best knife you have in the kitchen, for example, you also deal with it if you need to cut something, right? And that's the same here. You don't think about if you have not the best chances, you just try to make the best out of the situation. And you see we're catching the fourth from Journey pretty well. He also drives a bit of a weird line here. I'm not sure if it's the quickest, but I think it's maybe also car dependent, right? So we are 6 tenths behind him. I think we already get a bit of slipstream, and I'm telling myself, yeah, mate, it's not over. You still can get him. Focus, get your braking points right, maximize every inch of the track you can, and bam, another 10th essentially now. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. We are already recovered again from P25 to P18. Full focus, full send. Just, of course, in the limits with the cuts, but you can do it, right? So 4 times now behind him again. Brake really late at the tarmac stripe, and look at our braking advantage. Really, really nice. We are now 3 times behind him. I'm telling myself, mate, you have 2 laps or 3 laps to go. We need to be aggressive. We need to try to make a move. And here I'm thinking, yeah, I want to try to stay as close as possible behind him so I can overtake him on this main straight. And here the problem starts again. Our car's already understeering, but with 3 times behind him in the dirty area, it's even worse. So while we're braking here, we just get drifted away to the left and brake, and yeah, big mistake from us, because if you drive such a bad line in this chicane, you lose the entire exit. And generally, Bahrain Outer is a track where you have to have like a really exit-focused line. And if you do, I also tell here Jakob, like, yeah, crazy what happens here. But back to the topic. This track is all about exits, and if you do a mistake which costs you exit, you lose a lot of time. And yeah, we basically now are on the last lap, last corner, and I think overall, if the race would have gone 15 minutes longer, we might have gotten back to like P15, 14 maybe. But besides that, GG's to Jakob for winning the race. GG's to Journey. GG's to everyone. It was good fun. It was a bit messy at the start, but nothing else really to say other than, yeah, better luck next time. And yeah, a lot of experience we gathered essentially. Yeah, P18 here, so from P7 to P25 to P18. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this format, make sure to leave a like, maybe also leave a comment and give a bit of feedback so I know what I can improve. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you in the next video or live stream. So yeah, bye bye.